Welcome to 10 Minutes or Less Movie Review. I'm your host, Moss. Welcome. This also doubles as a Black Hole Sun podcast afterthought video. Sorry, got a double dip, got to do my thing. So today's movie that we're going to review is a 2018 horror film called Mandy, starring the one, the only Nicolas Cage. Holy crap. So, before we even get started with the movie, please like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, do your jazzy jazz hand thing. Before we start reviewing the movie, I want to talk about Nicolas Cage. Now, that's a character. That's a character. And I feel like in the past couple of years, maybe decade, he's been taking on a lot of really, I don't know, just, what's the word? He's been taking roles for money, let's be honest. He's got tax debt, he's got kids, he's got ex-wives, he's obviously taking roles for money. He's not like, this is a passion project. No. So there's been a lot of stinkers for Nick Cage. I mean, he's a unique individual, let's say. He's a very unique individual, and he's got his own way of doing things. So, yeah. Anyway, so Mandy is a 2018 horror film starring Nicolas Cage, and it is set in the early 80s in the Pacific Northwest. Nick Cage plays Red, and he lives with his girlfriend Mandy. That's who the movie's named after. And they live a very quiet and peaceful life. Red is a lumberjack, I assume, or some sort of woodsman kind of situation thing. And Mandy's an artist, and she stays at home and she makes art. And, you know, it seems pretty amazing, actually, if you look at it. I don't know who did the art for Mandy on the film, but they did a great job. So they're just living their little peaceful life in the Pacific Northwest, which, by the way, in the film, I don't think it was, I definitely know it wasn't Pacific Northwest. I think it was, I want to say Sweden or some other country, because it was one of those things like, yeah, Pacific Northwest, but why isn't it not raining, you know? I'm not saying that it always rains there, but I am saying it always rains there. So in the film, the setting is obviously somewhere else. It's beautiful and green, and somewhere if you ever want to disappear, go there. So they live in this really amazing house. And one day Mandy's just walking down the road, and she passes a caravan of people, and this guy in there named Jeremiah, who is part of a group cult, a group or a cult, sees her and becomes obsessed with her and wants to possess her or have her in the group. So he hires this group of like maniac biker demon, I don't even know what they are. It's later explained that group had a really bad batch of LSD, and that's why they're all like kooky and crazy and insane like that. So he hires them, and he offers them a jar of this gray stuff, which later you'll see, you know, if you watch the movie, you see that it has impact in the movie. This gray stuff that must be like a drug hallucination, like juice. And they go and they do a home invasion in Red and Mandy's house. Sorry, my cat is making so many noises outside. My apologies. They go and invade the house. They kidnap Mandy as well as Red. They have him outside the compound where the cult leader lives out there. And then there's this whole there's a whole situation where they put drops in her eyes, and they get this big gross bug to bite her in the neck, and she's basically drugged, and she goes in front of him and she starts laughing at him, and he got upset. His ego is totally hurt, I guess. I don't know. And then he ends up killing her. He puts her in a sack and he burns the sack. And that's when the shit hits the fan. Like, literally, Nick Cage loses his you know, that's when it like really gets crazy. If you've ever seen that meme of him yelling in a tiger shirt, that's from this movie. That's from this movie. So then he goes on a killing spree and kills everybody, and the bikers who are on, like I said, they're on a bad LSD trip, and he like kills everyone, and the last person he kills is Jeremiah, the leader. He's gotten his revenge. He's gotten his revenge. But it's you know, I'm kind of condensing it, but there's a lot going on. I really actually like this movie. It's been a while since I've liked a modern as in the 2000s, 2010, you know, 2000s. Like, I like it so much that I own it now. So it does say a lot for the film. Yeah, and the guy who directed it has a weird name. His name is Panos Cosmato. Sounds like a Greek dessert, but he did a great job. You know, the story, it's all right. The story and the dialogue is okay. What really is amazing is the colors. So cinematography is insane. Now I want to look up the cinematographer. Benjamin Loeb. Benjamin Loeb, what a job. He did a great job. And in sort of the editing, they added like these intense colors, which kind of correlates with the soundtrack. So the, you know, the atmosphere of this movie is so kind of like, it's sight, but it's also sound, and in a way that you can't explain it. It is like a drug trip, you know. It's kind of trippy. So interesting. I haven't seen something like this in a long time. I don't think I've ever seen something like this, you know. You know, the story is, yeah, it's okay. It's a revenge story, but the actual colors and the cinematography, and Nick Cage, come on now. Nick Cage at his prime, doing, you know, Nick Cage things, you know, screaming and hollering and being, you know, Nick Cage. It's great. You know, the supporting cast isn't that bad. I can't remember anybody's name. It's not anybody's name. You know, obviously the most famous person in this movie is Nick, but everybody else was great. Yeah, it was a good movie. Fun fact, Elijah Wood is the producer of this movie. You know, there goes the habit. But yeah, I really like this movie. Rotten Tomato gave it 90%. I can see that. I can see a 90% score. Dialogue was kind of janky, but you know, I think it was one of those story, you know, it's a modern love story where the girl dies and the guy, you know, brings back revenge. It is gory. It is very gory, but nothing too crazy. You know, it's just good old fashioned horror. But I just have to say, I really love what they did with those colors, with the different scenes and how they added them in, and how it correlates with the sound. Like, it's very heavy metal. It's super heavy metal. It's like kind of like a fever dream if you think about it. I thought it was great. I really thought it was great. I think out of all of the films I've seen so far from this decade, well, not even this decade, last decade, if you think about it, this is one of Nick Cage's best. He's taken on a lot of things that you're just like, I don't know, Nick, I don't know, but this was actually really good. I'm surprised more people don't know about it, because it wasn't that bad. I feel like, maybe I haven't looked into it. Like, maybe it's won some awards, especially for that cinematography. Whew. I feel like a film nerd. Like, oh my god, the cinematography was amazing. You should have seen the colors. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. I've left in the description box all my social media as well as my podcast link. This was actually a podcast episode. We spoke about this. So it was a podcast episode where I reviewed this movie, but also I want to do 10 minutes or less reviews as a future series on this channel. So let me know what's your thoughts. Please like, subscribe, do what you gotta do, share. I'm trying to see the timer. Thank you so much. Have a good day.